English class for 3rd standard, and today's topic is the friendly giant or the selfish giant. In your textbook, they have given, they have scribed here now, the friendly giant or the selfish giant. Why the heading is like this? Because this story has got 2 endings. So we have to select in that. So I have written the friendly giant. So let me read here, then we come to know. So what is the story, children? Do you remember how the giant was? The giant was selfish. He did not allow the children to play in his garden. So the giant was living in the castle. He had a very beautiful garden, very lovely garden. He did not allow the children to play in his garden. He built a high wall around his castle and he put up a notice board stating trespassers will be prosecuted, means punished. So no one should enter his garden. So he was very selfish. He used to say, I will not allow anyone to play in my garden. It is my garden, he used to say. And the children, so what happened? The giant went to his friend's house. After 7 years, he returned back. And when he returned back, he saw the children are playing in the garden. He was very angry on the children. And then the children saw the giant and they ran from the garden. Isn't it? You remember in the previous class we have learned. So then what happened? When the children went out from the garden, so all over the country there was spring, but in the giant's garden it was winter only. Spring did not come to giant's garden. The giant was very much worried and he was seeing through his window when the spring will come to his garden. But spring never came, nor did the summer. So till here we know the story. So next what happens? We read and we come to know. So there are 2 endings there. Today let me just read the end A. In the next class we are going to learn about the end B. So let me read here. In the end A what happens and end B what happens. And also if you want you can make a new own ending also as you wish. You can do that one. Okay children. So just follow the lines. I am going to read it. End A. One morning the giant woke up to the strains of lovely music. One morning the giant woke up to the strains of lovely music. It was a little bird singing outside his window. It was a little bird singing outside his window. A pleasant fragrance came to him, hoping that spring had came at last. The giant jumped out of the bed and looked out. So one day what happened? When the giant was sleeping in his castle, he could hear the strains of lovely music and also he could feel the pleasant fragrance coming from outside of his garden. So the giant will think that at last the spring had came to his garden and he will jump out of his bed and he will come and look outside the window. So what happens? Let us read. There he saw the most wonderful sight. So what he saw? There he saw the most wonderful sight. Through a hole in the wall, the children had crept in and they were playing on the trees. What happened? So the giant wanted to see, wanted to look out in his garden. What is happening? He could see that the children had crept. They made a hole in the wall and they crept inside and they were playing in his garden. And the trees were so glad. So the giant is watching everything from his window. He is seeing. So when the children came inside the giant's garden, the birds started singing, the flowers started blooming, and there was a very lovely scene outside his garden. So the giant was watching everything here. So then what happened? So the trees were so glad to have the children back. The trees were so happy. The children are back. And then they had covered themselves with blossoms. Okay. So after the children came, they were very happy to see them. And the birds were chirping with delight. The birds were chirping with delight and the flowers were looking up through the green grass and blossoming. When the children went away, what happened? It was winter there. So no music, nothing. So when the children entered the garden, again everything was normal, how it was before like that. So the birds started chirping and the giant could observe everything there. So everything he was watching from his window. And then the flowers were laughing from the green grass and it was a lovely scene to see there. So then what happened? As the giant looked out, his heart melted. he was observing everything now. So as the giant was looking out of his window, his heart melted. How selfish I have been! How selfish I have been, he will think. He said, now I know why spring did not come to my garden. So he will think, now I know why spring did not come here. He will knock down the wall. So what he will think, I will knock down the wall and my garden shall be the children's playground forever and ever. He was really very sorry for what he had done. So when the giant saw that the children were playing in the garden and everything was in the normal condition, spring was there in his garden, so his heart melted. So he will think, how selfish I was always, all these days I was so selfish. So now I will knock down the wall and allow the children to play in my garden, he will think. And let the garden be a playground for the children, let them play forever and ever in my garden. And he was sorry for what he had done. Okay, he will feel sorry for what he had done all these days. So he crept downstairs and opened the front door. So what he did? So he crept downstairs and opened the front door quite softly and went into the garden. So what he did? So he opened the front door quietly and went into the garden. Without making noise, he went into the garden. He wanted to watch the children there. But when the children saw him, they were so frightened. When the children saw him, they were so frightened. They all ran away and the garden became winter again. When the children saw the giant, they were frightened to see him and they all ran away. Along with them, the winter along with them, the winter it came back again. Okay, the garden became, when the children left the garden, what happened? Again it became winter there. So only one little boy, so he did not run. He could not run, so he started crying there. So the little boy did not run, he was not able to run, so he started crying. The giant gently picked him up and took him in his arms. The giant saw that little boy, he was crying because he could not run. So the giant saw that little boy, he will pick him up and took him in his arms. You can see in the picture here. So the little boy stretched out his arms and flung them around the giant's neck and kissed him. The little boy, what he did? He stretched out his arms and flung around the giant's neck and he kissed him. When the other children saw that the giant was not wicked any longer, when the other children saw that the giant was not wicked any longer, they came back running and with them came spring. When the children came back, what happened? Again spring came back to the garden. It is your own garden now, little children, said the giant. So the giant will tell, it is your own garden now. So you can play whenever you want, you can come and play here. He will tell for the children. He took a great hammer and knocked down the wall. He took a great hammer and knocked down the wall. Every afternoon, when school was over, the children came and played with the giant. So what happened? Now the children knew that the giant was not wicked any longer. So they were not frightened of him. After finishing their school, they came back to the garden. They were playing along with the giant every day. As the giant watched the children playing in his garden, always he used to say these words, I have many flowers in my garden, but the children are the most beautiful flowers of all. He used to say these words whenever he saw the children playing in his garden. So he used to say, I have many flowers in my garden, but the children are the most beautiful flowers of all. Okay children, this is one ending here. So here the giant's heart melted and he changed. So let us in the next class see what is the end be. In the next class, let us learn about it. Okay children, thank you.